Hey, good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday morning here on Motivated Strength. I'm your host, Schulz. We do this show so that you can start your day in a motivated, positive way. That way, you can take on life's challenges as they are, but more importantly, as you are right now. Now, if you happen to be new to the show, certainly want to welcome you and thank you for taking the time to see what it is that we're doing. We certainly appreciate and value your opinion. For those of you who have subscribed to the show, I value you more than you can ever imagine. And I certainly appreciate the fact that we're going to be working together to be able to find our way to different goals, to newer heights, and ways of being able to do more than the challenges that we face. Now, how we do that is called the optimal frame of mind. The optimal frame of mind is a higher way of thinking. That higher way of thinking will lead us to a higher level of living. And that's what a lot of people will always want. And I personally have wanted it for a long time, even though that I was going through the challenges and struggles that I was going through myself. Now, when I say challenges and struggles that I went through, let me share them with you. I've gone through clinical depression. I've gone through borderline personality disorder, PTSD. I've gone through codependency, addiction. I've gone through chronic nerve pain. I've gone through a number of different things. Those are just a few of those lists, that long list that I've gone through in my life. But here's what I can tell you. I can tell you what it's like to suffer, but that's not going to be helpful to you. Here's what I decided to do instead. I decided to be able to utilize my mindset to help me the best way that I could. Now, was it ever perfect? No, the answer is it's never going to be perfect, but it was better. And it allowed me to be able to see things differently. See, that optimal frame of mind allowed me to have a higher way of thinking. When I had that higher way of thinking, all of a sudden, things started dividing out of my way. They started getting into a space that I wasn't used to. It was actually finding me into places where I needed to be. Not necessarily what I wanted to do in the first place, but it certainly was getting me to where I needed to be at that time. So when we're talking about that higher way of thinking, it led me to a higher level of living. And that is what we're all looking for. Now, listen, we're talking about today motivation. We're talking about motivation through somebody who has been a tremendous influence in my life. His name is Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is a motivational influencer, speechwriter. He also is a pastor. He utilizes his voice and he utilizes his experiences. One of his experiences in life was that he was thrown out of his house. When he was thrown out of his house, he was homeless. He was eating out of garbage cans. He was eating out of whatever it is that allowed him to be able to sustain himself. He went through a number of different things. He went through a number of different challenges. Now, did he go through depression? Did he go through, chronic nerve pain? Did he go through chronic illness? I don't know exactly because I personally don't know the man. But I can tell you this, that I followed him long enough in order to be inspired by his words and also by his concepts. Now, when we're talking about motivation, we're going through the different challenges and struggles that we talk about, whether it be chronic pain, chronic illness, mental illness, life experiences that maybe you just can't let go because it's traumatizing in a way that you don't think that it's fair. I get that. I've been there. And remember what I said yesterday. I mentioned the fact that sometimes motivation can be intrusive when we're going through those challenges. Why? Because we are so in tune with adapting to what it is that we go through. Remember, I always talk about perceptions and I talk about cycles and I talk about patterns. Well, those things are a big deal. They are a big difference in our lives. So when we are able to switch them around, especially when they're to benefit us as opposed to make us unable to be able to take care of what it is that we want to, that's where things change. That's where things start to make a difference for us. So let's talk about the one statement that, Eric Thomas used a lot, especially in motivation. And yeah, it probably goes towards somebody who's looking to be an athlete or looking to be different in a way that, all the work and that they do as to be able to look a little bit better than what they otherwise would. Here's the thing. When he said, listen, you're already in pain. You're already hurt. You might as well get a reward for it. See, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about you already did the work. You're already working hard. You're already doing the sweat. You're already doing, the muscle aches. You're already doing the road work. You might as well get a reward for it. Don't quit. Don't quit while you're going through these things. Now, here's how I'm going to relate them to like challenges and struggles that I talk about often. And that is chronic pain, chronic illness, mental illness. Hell, you've already gone through it. You've gone through so much. I mean, I've seen people go through what they go through on a day-to-day basis, and, it seems like it's never going to end. But here's the thing. Remember what I said last week, and that was, are you willing to do more than the everything that you've already done? Are you willing to do more? Because that's the I don't quit part. See, when you don't quit, when you're willing to do more, see, forget that word quit. Personally, I don't like it. You know what I mean? But when you're willing to do more, when you're actively being positive in what is going to make a difference for you, when you're willing to do more than what it is that you've already done, that already is saying that you're not going to quit. But here's the thing. You need to hear that, right? You need to hear that so as to be able to push you a little bit further. Remember yesterday, we talked about the fact that your mind and your body learn from your actions. Your actions get you a certain distance. They get you a certain length of place where you are able to improve upon, right? You get to a point as to where you improve, or sometimes you have to take a step back and you have to reset. You have to reload in order to be able to take on life's challenges again. I mentioned the fact that this is not a race. This is a lifetime commitment, right? When we're going through some of the challenges that we go through, some of you are going through some things that don't have a cure. I'm going to say that again. Some of us are going through some things that don't have a cure. That means that we are talking about for a long time. We're talking about a lifetime commitment. I know I had to do that when it came to my addiction. I had to make a lifetime commitment. I had to make a change in my life. I had to make it to the point as to where it didn't matter what it is that I thought. It didn't matter what it is that I felt. I had to make a lifetime commitment in order to find what was going to be prosperous for me. I had to find what was going to make a difference for me. And so when I made that commitment, it allowed me to do so. Same thing here. Don't quit. When you say don't quit, that means commit yourself to continue on, to doing the things that it takes in order to be able to find a difference for you, to be able to find what it is that's going to work for you, and not only work for you, but also work for others. See, what I've noticed is that people who are going through the things that they go through, they are tremendous people that are supporting others that go through the same thing that they do. They're tremendous at supporting them, but they have a tough time when it comes to pushing themselves, right? We talked about yesterday. We have to push ourselves. We have to do the pushing because other people, we cannot rely upon them to push us enough in order to be able to get through. And here's a cold, hard fact. We're dealing with some really heavyweights when it comes to the challenges and struggles that we're talking about. That means that we got to give it everything that we've got. We've got to give it more than what it is that would ever be expected of us. We've got to do everything that we can in order to be better than what it is that we otherwise would be. We need to do everything that we can in order to find something that is going to make a difference for us, something that is going to lead us to crashing through the ceilings, something that is going to lead us to new goals, new heights, even though that we go through what it is that we go through. The challenges and struggles, they're going to be there. I've never said that they're not. I never said that everything that I'm going to give you for insight and inspiration is going to erase all those challenges and struggles that you go through. They're not. What they're going to do is it's going to allow you to have a higher way of thinking. That optimal frame of mind will bring you to a higher way of thinking, leading you to a higher level of living. That is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. It will lead you to where you can be more than the challenges that you face. You can take your challenges and make them a smaller percentage of your life. You can step into your solutions as opposed to tripping over your problems. You can do what it is that's needed in order to be able to make a difference for you, and not only for you, but also for others around you. You can make a difference that you probably don't even realize yet. There are things, there are people, there are places, and there are goals that are still there for you despite the challenges that you go through. That is what motivated strength is all about. It's to realize that we can make a difference despite what it is that we might be challenged with or suffering from. All right, listen, we do this show Monday through Friday. We do this show so that you can start your day in a motivated, positive way. That way, you can take on life's challenges as they are. More importantly, as you are right now. That means when you go to your doctor appointment, when you go to your therapy session, when you go to your pain treatment, when you do your household chores, when you go to the workforce, whatever it means for you, that means that you can be more than the challenges that you face, and you can be extraordinary despite it. So let me know what it is that I can do in order to help you. Let me know what it is that's keeping you stuck. Let me know what it is that makes you think that you can't crash through that ceiling that you've been bouncing your head off of for a very long time. Let me know what it is that we can do, because we're a community together. I keep saying this is not about me, myself, and I talking into a camera. This is a community together. Together, we are going to empower each other to be able to be more than the challenges that we face, to crash through the ceilings, to find new goals, to find new places, to find new people, to find our lives what they're meant to be as opposed to what they may merely exist to be. All right. So let me know what it is that we can do. And by all means, please leave me a comment. I love likes and everything, but at the same time, comments allow me to interact with you. I want to be able to interact with you to be able to make a difference. All right. Listen, we do this show Monday through Friday. We do this show so that you can be the best you that you can be, not only for yourself, but also for others. Hope you have an extraordinary day. We'll talk to you again soon.